reflection and remembrance, but also a call to action as to what is going on over the last 2 years. So before I begin, I want to recognize someone on the governor's staff who has worked really hard on putting this event together and working with my office and my team, and that's Annie Jean-Jacques Pearson. So Annie. Again, we are going to reflect, remember on the whole tragedy that struck Haiti just 2 years ago, which is quite unbelievable. But before we begin, I want to welcome for opening prayer, Reverend Dr. Pierre-Louis Zapier.
Can we stand this? Observe a minute of silence. And I heard from the throne a loud voice saying, "Now the dwelling of God is with men. He will be with them. They will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God. He will wipe all tears from their eyes. There will be no sorrow, no pain, no suffering, no death, no death, no death." As we come to remember those who lost their lives on January 12, 2010, Lord, we don't come to pray for them because they're already gone, but we like to pray for those who are still alive, especially for those who stand by our side at this critical moment in the history of the Haitian. We call for your blessing upon those who put together this event today to remember them, especially the governor, State Representative in Dorcena, Forry, and all the staff, and especially also those who stand and those who do what they best to help. And as we going through the possibility of getting back on our feet, and we want you to be with us and be part of this event this morning and be with Haiti. We want you to bless the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, bless Haiti, and bless America. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Zapier. Since that day on January 12, 2010, over 300,000 people have died so far. An outbreak of cholera has occurred, and thousands, hundreds of thousands still remain in tents. Yet with all this sorrow, so many of you, patient and non-patient, came together because this had a human impact on us. Haiti affected us all. As we gather to remember those who have passed, we also want you to reflect on the work that still lies ahead. Haiti is just 600 miles from our shores off of Florida. And yet here in Massachusetts, we have an undeniable connection. There is a boulevard in Haiti called the Charles Sumner Boulevard, and he was one of our native sons. Senator Sumner was one of the few political leaders of his time who stood up for the world's first Black independent nation. Sumner's support for Haiti was critical at a time in our joint history in which the United States was actually considering colonizing Haiti and Santo Domingo. Sumner argued for the rights of Haiti to remain a sovereign, independent country. And his courage and foresight deserves our lasting thanks. And so it's with this history that Massachusetts has once again risen to the occasion of leading on so many fronts. Throughout this morning, I will recognize and mention organizations right here in our state that are doing incredible work in Haiti. The leadership we have at the top makes a significant difference to the response that takes place on the ground. Our President Barack Obama has taken tremendous steps in shifting the paradigm on how the U.S. deals with Haiti. And here in Massachusetts, we have incredible leadership, beginning with our governor, Deval, who has done so much over the last 2 years in responding to this tragedy that took place, organizing his administration, working with the Haitian community, making sure that people that came here to get help through our amazing healthcare system are serviced and cared for. So it is with that that I want to recognize and bring up Governor Deval.
Thank you all for being here today. Thank you and good morning. Representative Linda Dorcena Forry, thank you for your warm comments, your generous introduction, and your friendship and leadership. You're an extraordinary partner. Minister Brunache, thank you for joining us here today. I want to recognize Speaker DeLeo and Chairman Brewer and the members of the legislature who are here. Treasurer Grossman is also here. Thank you for being here, Steve. And thank you to Annie Jean-Jacques. Where are you, Annie Jean-Jacques? Annie and all of her team from our Office of Community Affairs have really brought us together today in remembrance. And I thank you, Annie, for your extraordinary leadership. 2 years ago this month, the people of Haiti were struck by a profound tragedy. In human terms, the impact of the earthquake was felt all around the world, especially here in Massachusetts, home of one of the largest Haitian populations in the United States. This event was not about some distant calamity. It was about our neighbors, and friends, and co-workers, and their families. Recognizing that, the people of Massachusetts joined together to respond. Our medical personnel were some of the first on the ground. School children took up collections in schools all across the Commonwealth and sent their allowances to relief agencies. Hospitals organized to receive and treat the severely wounded. State employees took leaves of absence to join in the rebuilding. Members of our National Guard deployed to Haiti to work on restoring clean drinking water. And I want to acknowledge the Adjutant General who is here today and his leadership. Thank you. The Gangle family, who lost their daughter Brittany in the quake, are today building an orphanage in Haiti in their memory. And I want to acknowledge them and thank you. Of giving and of community is alive here in the Commonwealth and present for the people of Haiti. Under the leadership of our Office of Refugees and Immigrants, working in partnership with other state agencies, local governments, community organizations, Haitian clergy, and the private sector, we are doing what we can to support our Haitian community here in Massachusetts. We are helping with English language classes, counseling services, employment training, and housing opportunities, as well as by being flexible with our own employees and state government who need time to respond to earthquake-related emergencies in their own families. I know our ORI Director, Josiane Martinez, will be up in just a moment to say a little bit more about that, but let me thank you, Josiane. And Richard, are you here? Is Richard Chuckman here? Your predecessor. And that whole team for doing a wonderful, wonderful job coordinating the response. You've done just excellent work, and I'm proud of you. Thank you. We have more to do, and we must do it together, of course, and I know we will. I am proud to present a proclamation in remembrance of the Haiti earthquake to Minister Brunache on behalf of the people of Massachusetts, and we look forward to continuing to work together with you and with the entire community to rebuild. Thank you.
As we continue, I want to recognize and welcome up another leader in our great Commonwealth, and that is the Speaker of the House, Speaker Robert Deval, who has been an incredible leader in the House of Representatives, listening to the issues that impact and affect Haitians and Haitian Americans here in the Commonwealth. So Speaker Deval.
Thank you, Chair Lady Forry, and good morning to everyone. Governor, Senator Brewer. I see the Assistant Majority Leader Byron Rushing here. Russell Holmes, Representative Russell Holmes. Representative Alice Wolf as well. Nice I see you. But I first of all want to thank Chair Lady Forry for inviting me here today for her great work here in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and obviously on behalf of Haiti as well. And I want to also welcome the members and guests of the Haitian community. It's been 2 years now since the magnitude of the 7.0 earthquake devastated Haiti. It was an earthquake of catastrophic proportions that sent ripples across the globe. So many lives lost, homes destroyed, communities wrecked in the aftermath. Their nation has faced so many challenges since the devastation. Hundreds of thousands of people remain homeless today as a result, and many others have been struck with disease. Rebuilding and recovering is no easy process for any nation, which is why it has been so important for Massachusetts to help out to the best of our ability. I remember the day, in fact, I remember the fear that reverberated across our Commonwealth. Massachusetts having the third largest population of Haitians and Haitian Americans in the entire country. Our constituents, our friends, and our families here in Massachusetts were left anxious and terrified, waiting for a phone call with any news of whether or not their loved ones had survived. As a matter of fact, I remember oh so well speaking with this lady just about every night at 10, 11 o'clock at night, whenever I could reach her, trying to find out from her if her family was okay, if her friends were okay, what was going on. And I remember hearing the fear in her voice, trying to get a sense of what was going on in Haiti. But Massachusetts responded. The outpouring of generosity from so many Massachusetts residents was truly heartwarming and something that I will never forget. Most everyone pitched in, from Haitian American families to those who have no ties to Haiti whatsoever. I first of all want to commend our great governor for his leadership during this tragedy, especially in public health initiatives and for sending our troops to bring support to the Haitian people. Thank you, Governor, for your service. Also, many of my colleagues in the House and the Senate, including Senator Brewer here as well, have worked with their constituents in putting together relief efforts to help Haiti recover. But of course, it is a long road to full recovery, and our work has just begun. I know that Governor Patrick, members of the Massachusetts Congressional Delegation, and many members of the House, including the entire Massachusetts Black and Latino Legislative Caucus have expressed their support of Haitian Family Reunification Parole Program and have sent letters to Secretary of Homeland Security, Janet Napolitano. And I want you all to know that I intend to send that letter to the President. But I look forward to working together with all of you as we continue to help Haiti rebuild in 2012. I thank you again for inviting me here today. God bless.
At this time, I'd like to welcome and introduce to you Senator Stephen Brewer. We have incredible people that work in this amazing place called the State House. This is your home. This is your place. So we want you to come back. But Senator Brewer, please come up and say a few words.
All of our sisters and our brothers from Haiti, thank you for coming today. Thank you for remembering. When 200,000 or 300,000 people die, oftentimes it can be blurred into numbers. And sometimes we are defined by the one person that we knew, the one person that touched our lives. I learned this around 20 years ago in this very hall. Behind on that wall over there is a plaque for the Armenian genocide. And even as a student of history, I did not know a lot about it until I went to a memorial and I saw people 3 generations later weeping about grandparents that were murdered in 1910, 1911, 1912 during the Armenian-Turkish War. I learned about Haiti from reading Paul Farmer's book, Mountains Beyond Mountains. I highly recommend everyone to read that book about one man whose passion and mission is to make lives better. And I remember well the night of that. Because I got a call at 10 o'clock at night from my friend Lenny Gangle from Rutland. They told me that his daughter, Brittany, was missing. How could we help? My telephone has a lot of phone numbers in it. And I called a couple of our congressmen in Washington, D.C. at late hours. They tried to reach out to the United Nations. Our United Nations lost more people in one event than in the history of the United Nations in that event in Haiti. The following day, President Bill Clinton was in Worcester for an event. And I said, I'm going, and I'm going to get close to Bill Clinton because I've got a note in my pocket I wanted to give to him so he would give to the Secretary of State to try to find their daughter, Brittany Gangle. In my desk down at Ways and Means, I have a picture of an 11-year-old girl sitting at the senator's desk many, many years ago. I always like to have students come and sit in our chairs in our desks, quite honestly. Brittany grew from there to being an incredible joy for this planet. Stunningly beautiful at 19 years old. 4 hours before this earthquake hit, she emailed her mom and dad and said she was working with kids a lot like your age over there in this string group. And she said she found a new passion in life, and it's to work at an orphanage. This is what I want to do, she said, as a student at Lynn University. And 4 hours later, the Hotel Montana fell upon her and took her life. But they couldn't find Brittany for 3.5 weeks, quite honestly. And people from government stood up. And I will recall at this podium now, a congressman named Jim McGovern, who moved heaven and earth to get Lenny Gangle to Haiti. Lenny Gangle is a big man, 6'7", but he has a lot bigger heart than that, quite honestly. And he's a builder. He builds houses for a living. They have taken tragedy. They've taken tragedy to make the world better. In a world sometimes that is savage, that breaks our hearts, to find and to uplift fellow human beings. 200,000 orphans down there. And in Grand Cay, overlooking the ocean, you can see some area almost like this, that Lenny and Cheryl Ann and the Be Like Grit Foundation are building an orphanage. 31 boys, 31 girls, have a place called home. And if you look at it from the air, it's in the shape of a bee, a bee-like brick. The governor speaks many times, and so very much more eloquently than I, about our intergenerational responsibility to each other. That those who have much need to give to those who have so little in the world. The Haitians are innately a happy group of people, and they need to help us. This great nation of the United States of America, with our opulence, with our wealth, to be able to end with an expression of love and respect that we are all mortals, and we are all endowed by our Creator, who have the gifts of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. All of us have a sacred responsibility to do that. Take an example from this couple, Lenny and Cheryl Ann Gangle, who have decided that they would take pain and suffering and build a kinder and a gentler world. All of us have that responsibility. God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Now we're going to hear from the wonderful children to my right, a musical selection by the Open Access to Music Education.